Okay, hello everyone. All right, so in this video, let's talk about combined assignment operators. All right, now you may not know what it is, but at the end of this video, you'd see it. Okay, so let's demonstrate. I'm going to demonstrate something. I'm going to declare a variable. I'm going to call it first number. It's going to be an integer, and I'm going to set it equal to a value, an initial value. I'm going to set it equal to 100. Or let's try another value. Let's try 50 and terminate it. I'm also going to define another variable called second number, and I'm not going to initialize it yet, right? So I'm going to move down here. Now we've seen something like this. We can initialize a variable with the value of another variable by referring to its name. So we can set second number, right, to the value of first number. So second number is going to be equal to the value of first number, and I can refer the value of first number by its name, basically by the variable name. Now I can run a system.out the println statement. I'm sorry, forgive my typing, it's not the best, and say that the value of first number is, then I'm going to concatenate it with the value of first number here. I can also concatenate this with a new line character and say the value of second number is, and then I can concatenate it. Concatenate it with the value of second number this way. Okay, so compile this and run it, and now it says the value of first number is 50, the value of second number is 50, because over here we initialize first number to 50, so we know that first number is 50. Second number has been initialized to what's stored in first number, which we know as 50. So now they both have the same value. Now we know that this is possible. We understand this. Now first number is 50, right? But second number, we can even do more. We can not just set it to 50 or what's stored in the first number, but we can even add 1 to it before we store it in second number. In other words, second number is equal to what's already stored in first number, which is 50 plus 1. So in other words, we are basically calculating 50 plus 1 here, which gives us 51, and we are storing the result back in second number, right? And so we should expect second number to tell us, the statement to tell us that second number has 51 stored in there. So compile this and then run this. And then it says the value of first number is 50, the value of second number is 50. Now, we are not changing the value of first number over here. We're just adding 1 to it, right? But it's not being changed, right? What is actually changing, okay, with the equal sign, what's actually changing is second number. So first number stays the same, right? And then what we are actually changing with the equal sign over here is second number. So we know this is possible. We know this is good. All right, so let's move on to something else. So I'm going to declare another variable. I'm going to declare it as a double. Well, I'll remove the... Well, I'll come back to this later. Well, let me just go ahead and remove this, and we'll type something else. So let's declare another variable. I'm going to call it my bank account, right? And I'm going to initialize it to a value. I'm going to say it's equal to $100, right? And terminate it, 100, and terminate it. Now, I can over here say that my bank account, assuming I wanted to, let's say, I want to spend $1 out of my $100. I want to subtract $1. I wanted to update the value of my bank account. And so basically I wanted to change to $99, right? I can do something like this. My bank account, okay, is equal to what's already stored in my bank account. Okay. And so we know what's stored in my bank account is 100, right? So So over here we're saying that my bank account is equal to what's already stored in my bank account, which is 100 minus 1. We can do something like this. What's really happening is this. We are referring to the same variable name here. Okay, we are referring to what's already stored in the variable name. All right, and we are subtracting 1 from it, and we are storing the result, okay, in my bank account. If we were just to do this, right, if we were just to make this one value of, let's say, 99, that will change the value, that will change what's stored in my bank account. If I change if I set this to, let's say, 1, that will change of what's stored in my bank account to 1, right? It doesn't really make sense this way, but let's just display the content. So the value of my bank account is, and let's concatenate it to what's stored in my bank account. Compile this, run it, and it should say 1, because now we have changed the content of my bank account to 1. The equal sign changes it. But if we want to just update it, okay, we want to use the value of my bank account and update it, we can set it equal to my bank account and then subtract 1 from it before storing the result here. So my bank account contains 100. We are subtracting 1 from 100. The result becomes 99, and we're storing 99 in my bank account. We can do something like this too. So compile this, run it, and we see the value of my bank account is 99. If I wanted to spend $8 from my bank account, it tells me exactly how much that's left. Run this, it tells me 92. All right, and so we can do something like this. We can also do something like my bank account is equal to what's already stored in my bank account plus, assuming I wanted to deposit money into my bank account, I wanted to add money to what's stored in my bank account, plus 600, terminated. Compile this, run this, and it tells you the value of my bank account is 692. So it started off as being 100. I used $8 out of it, so I was left with 92, right? And I added 600 to my bank account, and so my bank account is actually updating. It's basically changing based on the old value that was there. And so I'm saying my bank account is equal to what's currently in the bank account based on the old value, what's currently in there, plus 600. What's currently in there minus 8. Now this is set in, this is just setting the value of my bank account. And so we can do something like this. We can say my bank account is equal to my bank account minus 8. We can say my bank account is equal to my bank account plus 600. We can use the name of the variable again in the calculation over here. Okay, before we assign the result to my bank account, we can use it again. We can do this, and this is actually very common in programming, right? And so we can do something like this also. My bank account is equal to my bank account times 2. I'm saying that my bank account is now equal to what's already stored in there. Now we know what's already stored in there at this point is 692. We multiply that by 2. So we're multiplying 692 by 2, and we're storing the result back in my bank account. All right. So we can do this also. Compile this and then run it any moment from now. This should, yeah. And then now we see that my bank account is 1,384. We can also do it with division and say that my bank account is equal to what's already stored in my bank account. My bank account divided by 3. Okay, my bank account is equal to what's already stored in my bank account divided by 3. Compile this and then run it. And we see that it says the value of my bank account is 461.33333. Okay. So now because things like these, or basically operations like the calculations like this, or these, it's so common in programming. Java has created a shortcut for it, okay, which is basically called combined assignment operators, right? There is something combined to this assignment operator here. Okay, so this statement, I'm going to make it a comment and then type in the shortcut right below it. It's going to be the same thing pretty much. It's going to be my bank account. So my bank account minus equals 8. Now it looks very weird when you see it. You go like, oh, it doesn't make sense at the very first time. Sometimes when you see it, but my bank account minus equals 8. You can think of it this way. We can think of it this way. What is being subtracted from my bank account, right, is 8, right? What is being subtracted from my bank account is equal to 8. Or you can say that my bank account is being decreased by 8. All right, so you can think of it that way. And so minus equals is the combined assignment operator, and it helps you, when you do it this way, you don't have to repeat. Sorry, this is my bank account. When you do it this way, you don't have to repeat the variable name again. So it's a shortcut. You don't have to repeat the variable in here like the way we did over here. So this, okay, I'm going to comment it out here and have the shortcut version. They both are the same thing though. They both work, but you have a shortcut available in case you want to use it. This will always work too. I mix them up all the time. Sometimes I use this, sometimes I use that. All right, so the shortcut version of this will be my bank account, all right, plus equals 600. Okay, so you can think of it this way. What you can say that I'm increasing my bank account, okay, by 600. Okay, my bank account is being increased by 600. You can think of it that way. All right. Or another way to view it is I am adding 600 to my bank account, to what's already stored in my bank account. All right, so a shortcut version to write this also would be my bank account times equals 2. Okay, I am multiplying my bank account by 2. Okay, or my bank account is being multiplied, by 2. You can think of it or imagine it that way, or think about just think about it that way, and it helps make you understand it. But both of them work though. This is the long form, this is a shortcut version. Same thing they both do the same thing. So comment this out and have the shortcut version of this also. My bank account divided equals is 3. So it's a combined assignment operator. Okay, the assignment operator is being combined with something else. And so this is, I am dividing my bank account by 3. Okay, so when we run this, we shouldn't expect any change. Why? Because these are the same statements as the statement above. That's the long form above. Okay, they're the same statements as the long form above. So when we compile this and we run this, we get the same thing. All right, there are other with other operators like the modulus, it's the same thing. We can do something like my bank account, okay, is equal to what's already stored in my bank account modulus 2. Right, now we know that the modulus sign is basically dividing my bank account. We are basically dividing these two operands, my bank account, in 2, but it's not giving us the answer of the division. It's giving us the remainder of the division. After dividing these two, it results in the remainder, okay, and it gets stored in my bank account. Now we saw that in a couple of previous videos. All right, so the short form of this would be my bank account modulus equals 2. Okay, and then I don't know what the answer is going to be, but I just wanted you to see that you can do something like this too, and it says it's 1.333. All right, so I just wanted you to see this, because you're going to see this in programming. You're going to be doing things like this. You're going to need to do things like these, and this is the long form, this is the short form. All right, if you have any questions, please comment down below and I'll do everything to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time with the next video. All right, bye-bye.